Special breaking 30-day ceasefire. New pressure on Putin in conflict with Ukraine. Amid escalating tensions between Ukraine and Russia, a diplomatic turning point was recorded when the United States and Ukraine agreed on a 30-day ceasefire. This decision not only created a space for a pause in violence, but also put heavy pressure on President Vladimir Putin, forcing him to respond in a complex strategic and political context. Context and strategic impact. At a time when the conflict is ongoing with increasing intensity, the 30-day ceasefire agreement is seen as a strategic step to minimize human casualties and immediately lower the level of tension. The U.S.'s role as mediator sends a strong message about the importance of dialogue and diplomatic solutions. In addition, the U.S.'s particular focus on the Donetsk region, a land rich in mineral resources and a constant focus of Russian military strategies, suggests that the agreement is not just temporary, but has long-term strategic implications. Donetsk is seen as a flashpoint that could reshape the strategic landscape if it is secured and stabilized. Reactions and foreign policy strategies of the parties. Putin's response. According to information from sources, President Putin is currently seriously considering the ceasefire proposal. While the details of the agreement remain vague, especially regarding territorial claims, his positive signal that he is considering the proposal could signal a strategy for adjusting military operations. However, the uncertainty and diplomatic pressure could leave Putin facing difficult choices, as any move he makes could change the current situation. Trump's statement. In this context, President Trump's recent statement, when he called President Zelensky a dictator, added to the tension. This criticism, while controversial, contributed to creating a political confrontation between the factions. The way Trump spoke could be interpreted as a strategy to indirectly pressure the leaders of Ukraine and Russia, creating an imbalance in the internal politics of the countries involved. Impact on the negotiation process. The parties are facing ambiguous terms, especially on the issue of territorial claims, a core issue for both Ukraine and Russia. Failure to clarify the power lines could prolong the negotiations and create political debris after the ceasefire ends. This requires flexibility and agility in negotiating in order to avoid a long-term frozen state of conflict. Analyzing possible consequences. Restructuring military strategy. If the ceasefire agreement is implemented effectively, this could be an opportunity for the parties to make adjustments in military strategy. For Russia, the pause in military operations could create a period of time to restructure and consolidate forces, while Ukraine could use this time to strengthen its defenses and seek international support. Change the diplomatic landscape. The U.S.-Ukraine ceasefire agreement will put Russia under considerable diplomatic pressure. If Putin agrees to this proposal, it could open the door to deeper negotiations, not only on security, but also on economic and geopolitical issues related to the Donetsk region and surrounding areas. Implications for the international community. This agreement not only affects the two parties directly involved in the war, but also serves as an important signal to the international community. Countries and international organizations will closely monitor the next steps of Russia and Ukraine, which may help them reorient their support strategies and foreign relations towards the region. General perspectives and future prospects. The 30-day ceasefire negotiations, while seemingly a temporary step, open up many questions and opportunities for a significant change in the conflict. Putin's consideration of this proposal will be closely watched, as any decision he makes could have ripple effects not only on the war, but also on the political structure of the region. Meanwhile, the details of the territorial claims remain opaque, requiring transparency and fair negotiations to avoid prolonged tensions. If successful, analysts say the deal could set the stage for a period of deeper diplomatic dialogue that could reshape a more stable and sustainable security environment. Conclusion. The 30-day ceasefire agreement between the United States and Ukraine is a significant turning point in the current conflict. It not only puts pressure on Putin, but also opens the door for negotiations to resolve core issues, particularly territorial claims and the strategic importance of the Donetsk region. While much remains unclear, the coming developments will determine the future of the region.